Idealism prevails. Make the world a better place.
Hello everybody, welcome to Idealism Prevails. I have a very special guest today. It's Ping Xu from Taiwan, and she will tell us about her life. She will tell us about the unconditional basic income, and maybe we know more about the situation in Taiwan. I welcome you here. Hi, Ping Xu. Nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me here.
Yes, you know, Enno Schmidt from the initiative in Switzerland, from the Unconditional Basic Income, he wrote me and he said, you know, there is a wonderful person coming to Vienna. You should meet Ping Xu. And this is why we sit here together. A lot of viewers won't know you, so maybe we start with your person. Who are you? Where are you born, Ping?
I'm born in Taiwan and educated in Taiwan until I have a first bachelor degree of advertising. But I never really do anything with that degree. And then I moved to the United States the day before 9/11.
One day before?
Yeah, I landed in United States the day before 9/11. And then my original destination was NYC. But just happened, something happened, I changed plan to and landing in Kentucky instead, NYC. So kind of avoid that tragedy happened to me. So I guess I was lucky because I didn't know that was when I woke up from the jet lag, I see all the TVs, everything is about 9/11. I kind of freak out a little bit, and then my original travel plan is just I want to travel to NYC, so that won't be a good time for me to travel. So that's why I decided to stay in Kentucky, and then stay 4 years afterwards, just like that.
So how came the decision to move from Taiwan to the United States?
No, that was kind of accident. I wasn't planning on staying. I was going to visiting for a short period of time. And then because of 9/11 kind of disrupt the original plan. I was want to travel, just want to stay 2 weeks. And I wonder, I land in Kentucky, and because it's kind of country side of states, I kind of like that slow pace, mountain. So, well, anyway, so I stayed there the first 4 years. And then there's marriage. So
you married somebody from the United States?
Yeah, that's my first United States marriage. Yeah.
And I heard, or I was reading about you that you were doing concerts because you are a pianist. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, I was self-taught classical. So I read music when I was 6. So reading music and play piano is not something hard for me. So which comes out so easy to do. So you will assuming so this something is very easy to me. So I think it's kind of God's calling, something like that, because it's easy for me to do. But I started to play piano for concert for charity because I never really attend to music school. So which is cost nothing, just something I have this ability. So I usually play for charity. If some people need a donation, I would set up a program, a concert program, and then for them, and then just the people can donate money for this purpose. So as a pianist myself, I don't really look into how much there, because my job is to provide the program. I don't really look into money myself.
And so how did you live there? Did you have a special job, or did you earn enough money with a piano playing?
Well, in the States, I was married. So my first marriage, provide me a stable, basic living, food. I don't have to worry about too much. I just practice and do my music. So, and then the second marriage is same thing. So I have a home to provide me basic need, so I can do music. Yeah, that's pretty much I can do this.
Okay, and then when you divorced, how did you get along? How did you make money in the meantime, in between the two marriages?
My first marriage didn't give me a legal status. So that's something probably I can share with a lot of people out there. It's not something automatically will happen. When you marry an American citizen, you become, no, you don't. You just have to apply for. My first marriage, because the one I married to, he just make $1,000 a month, the paycheck. So it's under poverty line. So in other words, if you are living in poverty line, you are not eligible to apply. You have an alien spouse moving to the United States. So that's the reason I married him 4 years, and then I was still illegal. So I couldn't drive, couldn't go anywhere. I was trapped home. So pretty much I know really this is not a life I want to live. So I rather just go home. So there's many times I want to go back to Taiwan instead of staying in States, because without the legal status, it's very hard for you to do. You don't want to work illegally, and you don't drive illegally. So that's pretty much, it's very hard for a immigrant who is not on paper. So I don't know about a lot of people out there. I think it's nice to live hometown. It's hard to move different country, and also when you're looking for better life, but somehow it doesn't turn out that way, you would think. Yeah.
And why do you think is it so hard to get a green card or a staying status in America, although you are married? Has it something to do, maybe if you bring money in, you get quite quick a green card, but if you have, like you said, if you live under the poor line, then it's more complicated. What do you think is behind that idea?
Actually, it's what I told is these days, I know people can pay 1 million, become investment green card. I was told, this is something I heard about, a lot of wealthy people from China. They can buy children a green card just because investing, There's something I heard about that, okay.
But then, does it get together if Trump is telling the whole country, you are all Americans? So what does that mean? If you have 1 million and you have your green card, you are American? And if not?
Yeah, you are green card holder. A green card holder is just resident. You don't receive any benefit. So I got my green card legal status squared away on my second marriage in the States. So from the day I arrived States, the day before 9/11, and then until I received my permanent green card, it took 8 years. So 8 years I have no status staying home. So that was really hard for anybody.
Did you have a medical insurance?
No.
So you had to pay every time you went to the doctor?
I tried not to get sick. Pray not to get sick. So 8 years, I didn't go to hospital. I didn't go anywhere because 8 years, no status. So that's really hard for a spouse who you have to move to States, and then you depends on your citizen spouse. It's very hard for anyone. It's not only in States. I guess in the whole world, if you move to different country as a woman, I think also as a woman, you have much more emotional needs. you can't just depend on your husband or provide you all the needs. It's gonna drive a man crazy. Emotional needs, financial needs, everything. So this is something I started really thinking about, why a lot of people around the world, they want to immigrate to different countries.
Yeah, what do you think? It is so easy nowadays in our globalization that companies just go from country to country. There are no borders to build new companies. It's always depends on the money that you have. Your freedom depends on the money that you have. Why do you think is it like that the little people, the normal people, yeah, and especially the women, if they are moving from one country to another, where do they find the independence or their freedom?
I think it's very hard, and it's under currently the social structure. Women are weaker. We are physically weaker, but mentally we are stronger. But financially we are weaker. And like pay, the equality of paying, and then also women are more likely staying home, taking care of the house, and we are not appreciate get paid. So as what I experience when I is a new immigrant to the States without status, I'm staying home. And it's easy to be mistreated.
But it's also like a little prison.
Yeah, it's so easy to get mistreated. Like you have to take whatever you are given by your spouse. Yeah.
So that means also what I hear out of your words is that it was quite a hard time for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was not so easy to do the things you like to do?
Yeah. Like it's something you never get things right. It's under kind of circumstances, you're under pressure, survival pressure, because once you get out of house, you get nowhere, or you become homeless. So I did that choice when I divorced my husband.
So you really were homeless on the streets in the States?
Yeah.
How was it for you? How did you feel?
I have a choice. Staying home with the husband who are no longer able to provide. And then some abusive, getting a little harder for me. Otherwise, I have to go free. But if I go free, means the same thing, I will lose my shelter, like home, car. I have started from scratch. And as a little person, and also only green card holder. Green card holder doesn't have any benefit.
It's just that you are allowed to be there.
Yeah, I have to work. I also pay taxes. But if when I live in Florida, and then they told me, oh, you're not eligible for any benefit because you are not citizen. I'm only green card holder. I said, okay. So when I moved upstate New York, I was told, you should go social service. You might be able to get, in your state, it's different from Florida. I said, okay, let me try. I was sitting in the social office. And then I see people who got kicked out by father, okay, the young couple. My dad kicked me out, so we needed housing, emergency housing. They got housing. I couldn't because I wasn't citizen.
So so what was the answer? I'm sorry, you have to look where you live.
I'm sorry because you are not citizen. We can't help you here. So I have to go back to my car. Even I apply for emergency housing.
I know I heard a lot of stories, and I have a lot of friends on Facebook from the United States, and a lot of people, most of the people don't even imagine how many are living in their cars.
Yeah. I lived out of my car for off and on 2 years. Before,
Two years?
Mm-hmm. Before I have a full-time job. Because I need, I play piano, and so the only thing I know playing the piano after I divorced, after I walked out of my house. So I choose to live this way. I don't know when I can put my feet back on, but it was very hard to look for a full-time job to begin with. Who want to hire a pianist to do a full-time job? So the only thing I can look for is kind of store, retail. But retail is getting shrink, and the jobs positions is getting, they used to have a 10 cashier register in a supermarket. Now have a 3 and self-checkout. So it's getting harder to get regular job as normal, average American people. Don't mention me as a degree of the pianist. Who want to hire pianists to do regular retail job? I wasn't trained, and I did not have a background education for that. Well, anyway, but thank God I got this job to offer. So I had to move from Florida, move to Michigan. Michigan is very all way up
in the north.
States. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and there was kind of place, okay, you don't want to be. Okay, so I because I got this full-time job offer, so I have to travel 18 hours to go up to Michigan to get this job. That's a job to carry a lot of Japanese souvenir, carbon steel samurai sword, and that's a place I work for. But there's something when I look at the store, I say, I never trained. I was never trained to do a salesman.
Did you like it?
I hate it. But
so you were forced. You were just forced to make money.
Yeah, because you have to get a regular job. Like I play piano, that wasn't regular. I had to get a regular paycheck job. That's something. The only offer I have. I took this job because I'm Asian. So Asian.
Not even Japanese. I mean.
Japanese store. So I went that good job. So that was times I would display the carbon steel sword to customer. So I bring it back on, and then the shield just slide over my hand, that finger. So let's cut my finger right there.
You cut your finger?
Yeah, it's 8 stitches. So.
Oh, and then what was happening with you and your piano playing then afterwards, after this accident?
I feel nothing. The finger, I lost this finger feeling.
It's numb.
Numb, completely numb. So that's something, it was very, very painful for me to think that moment. I was under survival. I had to get this, people call this called, you had to get your regular job. Like what I was trained before, that wasn't regular. That's a regular job to go to stores for retail. And this job wasn't insured either. So in other words, like nobody have a guarantee or insurance for anything anymore. That's how I feel that the current situation. And
but I have a question, Ping. You are from Taiwan. That's a Republic of China. And we know that in America there are a lot of Chinese people since generations. Wasn't there a possibility that you get into the Chinese people and ask for a job there? Or did they help you?
I wasn't have any in contact with the Chinese or Taiwan people myself. When I was married, I married a Caucasian American citizen. So I don't really have a connection with Chinese or Taiwanese. Well, I guess somehow it's a culture I try to escape from.
Okay. Because, this is a question that I wanted to ask. What was the reason that you left Taiwan? I mean, there must, maybe you wanted just to make holidays in the States and then realized, I like it here? Or was there a thought behind before you moved to the USA?
Well, that's kind of when you grow up, it's the culture with full of ideology, a superstition. And I won't say this is my home, but I was born in Taiwan and I was educated in Taiwan. There's something that the culture I cannot tolerate, like a fixed marriage.
Still?
Yeah.
Still nowadays? Yeah, because people don't know. We know. For example, I'm from Germany. We are here in Austria, but we never hear or see documentary films about Taiwan. Very rare, very rare. You have really to look yourself, look it up if you want to see something. So most of the people out there who will listen to us today and our viewers, they don't know anything about Taiwan.
And then Taiwan, Taiwan is a small island. And my parents, my dad was originally from mainland China. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of second generation in Taiwan. But this kind of identity crisis, I was born in Taiwan, but I wasn't recognized as Taiwanese. They think you are mainlander because the way I speak, my accent. And then also my first marriage, I married a Chinese.
Yes.
I'm from Taiwan, I married a Chinese artist. And then I say Taiwan and then China, like two different, you guys hate each other?
Yes, I remember, Ping, I'm a musician and I've been traveling and touring in China and Taiwan, and I found out that every time we came from China, I had to fly over Hong Kong or over Macau to get to Taiwan. What is this crazy shit? I mean, we're not so far away. Why do we have to fly from Shanghai to Macau, from Macau to Taiwan, to Taipei? I was totally shocked because I said, okay, this is a Republic of China. They have some political problems with each other, but how stupid is that to direct the flights like this?
Yes, it is something I grew up with, this ideology. We were brainwashed over trained. You hate Chinese. Chinese people are bad. They're communist. And the Taiwan people, we are Taiwan. And then until I married one. I married Chinese. My first marriage in China. And then I have a daughter who was born in China.
Ah.
Yeah. And then I can feel the kind of policy. We towards each other, we hate each other so much. We call Taiwan and China is called two shores. The relation between
who is providing for this hate? Who is doing this? I mean, who is saying, well, these are communists and we are Democrats, or we are whatever, capitalists?
They input into the education.
Government? Is it the government who's doing it?
Yes, education. They teach you how to hate Chinese. And they show you how terrible a communists they are. And then they told you everything what they want you input your brain. And then when I really actually lived in China for first 4 years,
yes.
When my daughter was born, she was born in China. So I learned that. I will say something funny. That back then you can see all the store, the clothing, all the merchandise, cheap made quality. I said, really, this is bad. Made in China, everything is bad. Quality is bad. And then I moved to States, become American, and
it's all made in China.
Yeah, all the poor quality.
Yes.
Okay, now it's a Walmart everywhere. I said, really? So the price, you consider the currency and the cost of living, really? So this is what quality we get here in the United States now. So, I live in China probably 4 years, and then States 17 years. I away from Taiwan 20 years.
But how did you feel as a Taiwanese in China? What was the difference between these two countries?
You know what? We are people. That's not much different. That's why I'm getting tired of fighting for who you are. You are Taiwanese or you're Chinese. I'm married Chinese. I have a daughter in China. I don't know who I am. So I'm getting tired of this ideology of fighting and then prove to yourself identity. How about we are human being? Really? We are human being. You can see Chinese people, Chinese are spoken in Hong Kong and then in Singapore, and then also a lot of Asian countries. So what you want to tell me? I don't need to prove who I am. I'm just being. So that's the kind of attitude I have. We are human beings. Why you want to use ideology to separate people, divide people? So
yeah, but Ping, it is done in the whole world. Yeah. It is even done here in Europe. Maybe you heard about our problems in the EU and the United Europe, and you always do it. You do it in America. These are Republicans, these are Democrats, these are Asians, these are Americans, these are Mexicans. You always try to put people in chapters and say this is this and this is this. But the human being, where is it? I mean, don't we need all the same? We need shelter, we need a house, we need clothes, we need something to eat, and we need also affection and love. Yeah. This is what combines us all. But the question is, it seems that you are very interested in finding out about the freedom, because you moved from Taiwan to China. You even marry a Chinese, although they told you, hey, Chinese is not good. And then even afterwards, you moved to America.
Yeah.
And did you think, just be honest, because we all try things and we believe something that will happen one day. Did you believe that you go into a country of freedom and wealth?
States? Oh.
Did you believe this before you went there? What did you think
really.
Before?
I guess somehow, even before I moved away Taiwan, I never considered States or Chinese are so much different. I believe this, when the big piece land there, we don't see from outside. We don't want to see in there, like the Chinese, China. People don't really know what's in there. They just say, before there was red China, right? And then also, States, he says it's blue freedom. You don't really know until you really live there. And then a lot of people say, hey, I was vacation in States 2 weeks. I was vacation 2 months somewhere. You know what? Traveling, you don't see really a lot. You have to live there. You are rich. You are hit any angles, like Medicare, taxation, social welfare, and then also racism, culture. You have to live the place long enough to really see what's angle out there. So there's something I realized that when I was in the States, after my finger broken, I realized that this is none of the things I should do. I should use my language skills. So I translated a lot of information from English to Chinese. I want the Chinese reader to know that's not really you think. I, as freelance and then volunteer translator, I can translate whatever I want. I will not get paid for it, but I'm free to do so.
You want to give information to other people.
For real, the truth.
The truth.
Yeah. And then the first thing I realized when I was a medical interpreter in States, I discovered there's some big scam, cancer cost, and also cancer is business, and also psychiatric drugs, mental illness drugs.
Isn't everything a business?
Oh,
yes. I mean, if we talk just about it, but maybe we made the system so that the human being is getting also as a business. You are a business. And if you don't make money, you are no good business.
Oh, yeah. We are building a lot of rocks to smash our own feet. Now human beings, we're getting, I think, dumber. The economic growing, not the money floating around, but people are dumber. When I was in States 17 years, I never heard about what's called ADHD and mental illness.
That was new. That was from the West, something new they created.
Yeah, and then they want to sell you drugs. And I realized that, when I was a medical interpreter, I would work with different doctors, different doctor backgrounds. And American trained doctors and also Indian trained doctors, they will give you different treatment.
And also in China, I know because I've been 3 times there, I told you.
Yes.
And I was in a pharmacy in
Yeah.
China.
Uh-huh.
And it was totally different.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, it smells so different. They have so many herbs here, so many strange things I've never seen. We don't have this in Germany. It wouldn't even be allowed. Yeah, because they want to sell their pharma industry pills.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is something on the very last few years when I get off myself as a homeless situation. I have full-time jobs. I work 3 jobs. I have 1 full-time, 2 part-time jobs. So teaching Chinese and also playing a piano as during weekends, and then a full-time. So I was doing well, and the past 3 years I have 3 jobs. I have good income. So that was something I started thinking, you know what? I think I feel empowered. I want to push more to find out truth about what's going on, as medical interpreter and then also legal interpreter, I hit every angle, immigration and anything related about human life. So until I discovered universal basic income.
When was it that you heard about the universal basic income the first time?
After I translated a lot of information about social justice and medical scam, cancer treatments, and then also a lot of alternative treatments and the mental illness, I discovered really we are living in a false society.
It's all an illusion.
Yeah, we thought we need that, we don't. And then until I found out I translated one image about universal basic income, and then I say, really? That's the answer. That's the answer. There's something missing because everybody has fight survival, so everybody is so greedy to grab stuff in. They are so terrified, everybody drowning. So that's why how world can so ugly, because everybody see that. You see that you can imagine everybody.
It's the concurrence.
Yeah.
You need to fight for your life, and I think the unconditional income is a very good idea for people to wake up.
Yes.
Was it waking you up when you heard the first time about it?
I found out this answer because I've been thinking about injustice, and I've been and I feel a lot of wrong. I feel a lot of wrong about society in the States, in China, and Taiwan, everywhere. I say, really? Is it was me feel wrong, or it is wrong? And then until I discovered universal basic income, so I say, you know what? I'm going home. I'm going home, where I was born. Taiwan, that was my home.
Could you measure it? How the injustice, is it more in the Western countries or in the Eastern countries, or is the injustice just on different positions different? Can you say something about it? Is it the same injustice?
Injustice is everywhere, but just because culture, Asian culture, we were brainwashed. I think brainwashed by the education or culture, being submissive. You don't want to be rebellion. You don't speak up. We don't emphasize individualities. They think they want a harmony. The harmony means just whatever authority, higher power say so, you do so. Be obedient. That's something you call harmony.
The Chinese are very obedient.
Yes, very submissive. Yeah, and then also in this kind of slavery mentality, we were built.
Mental slavery.
Mentally or labor. They can just, people think that is called humble. That is not humble. That's not called humble. Means you mean slave and you don't complain. Because you complaining, you are arrogant. So in other words, the current culture misleading people think, the majority of people thinks, for example, me, I think we are fighting for human rights by promoting basic income. Mm-hmm. And then there's a lot of people holding the slavery mentality so hard. No, we should not ask for that. Okay. Really?
Yeah, I think worldwide we were taught to, if you want to live good, then you have to obey, then you have to go the ways that are made for all of us, like the school and then the university or learning a job or whatever. It's like a way, and we all have been brainwashed like this, because if you really go back or go to the center of what means life, then there is not so much needed. There is not so much fighting for it. We just live. And we have a very, if you look around the world, around the environment, we have all is provided for us already. But the thing is that the last 200-300 years of industrialization made us believe that we have to work hard for our living. And I think this is globally like this. No matter if it's a little bit more democratic, a little bit more communist, a little bit more dictatorial, I think it's the same.
Yeah, this kind of the reason I started kind of advocate for universal basic income, regardlessly, and I want to go global, not even Taiwan, because Taiwan and Asia people endure inhuman work condition more. You can see there's something, after 17 years, I returned to Taiwan. And then when I look at the living condition or working condition, I say, really? Seriously? I think it's like a frog jumping in the boiling water. I was jumping right out. I say, okay, this is something is not happening. It's something, I can't endure the kind of living condition or the working condition. They
live in very small houses and very small apartments. Is that right?
You have to afford to. Now Taiwan is the highest housing. People have to not eating, not spending money, 16 years to get a one-piece lousy, crappy apartment in Taiwan. 16 years. So
I don't know if you know, but I'm from the Humanistic Peace Party, and we have 3 questions for everything we work with, and these are: does it serve human beings? Does it serve the environment? And does it serve the global peace? So these 3 questions are never asked. Everything that is asked right now globally is, how can I make more money? And I mean, this is something very strange, because money is made up from us, human beings. It's not a natural state of being. Money is unnatural. And we go, the whole world, and I don't know why it came like this, that the whole world is trying to tell us that we have to work for money to live. I mean, this is so unnatural. And in some cases, it's so hard that you could die. If you don't have money, you just die of hunger, of homelessness, of whatever, of cold, because it's cold outside. Where is the humanity, Ping? Where is it? Can we find it somewhere on this global planet?
Yes, in global scale. When I discovered universal basic income, I jumped in right away and full time, because I think that's the answer I've been looking for. I was on the street, right? I see what people homeless. It's
intelligent people.
Yeah.
People with a story in their life.
And then also people are talented, and then for talented, why? Because they cannot make a steady income. Like you can get a steady paycheck. Really? So that's how the society appreciate people who have a talented or creativity.
They don't fucking care about your talent. Do you think did ever somebody care about your finger that you cannot be a concert pianist anymore?
No. When I was forced to take the job, people would say, "Oh, little princess, time need to
wake up out of your beautiful dream."
Yeah. So that's really strange. We were well trained and we performing, but it's not rewarding by this social structure currently. They don't reward creativity. And then, okay, how about all the people become labor, like a machine can do labor? That's great. But the robot can do better job than us. What are you going to do anyhow? And then this come down to people get dumber because they do a lot of labor job.
Yeah, well, they call it industry 4.0. You heard about it?
Yeah.
It's about the digitalization and the robots coming and they take our work. But that's okay on a way.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, we invented the computers for doing better jobs, for making the jobs easier and faster than we can do it as human beings. So now we have also to change our way of thinking. If we involved this, or if we discovered that computer can do it, robots can do it, what are we doing?
Yep. Yeah, that's pretty much. And then with Taiwan, we hold the first Asia Pacific region conference
In Seoul.
in Taiwan in March.
This year? Next year?
This year.
Ah,
Yeah,
okay.
the beginning of this year. And we brought a lot of scholars, everyone from Taiwan, because Taiwan just joined the big family last year. So we are new, and I'm new, but we go for full speed, because if this is hard, live life, suffering, index.
And more.
Oh,
Ping,
yeah.
You heard the new numbers. 8
Yep.
people have so much money, like half of the world population. 8 people.
Yeah. And then you can see that it's really, and also in Asia, the government policy, they allow people buying and selling properties. So you'll see a lot of empty houses out there. Okay, and then it's just nobody live there. So, but a lot of young people, they can't, like you can see people around under 40, no longer able to afford the housing on their own. They still live with parents.
Oh, it's the same in Germany. They even force you to stay at home if you have no job, for example. If you don't find a job, they force you to the age of 25 to stay at home. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
I mean, you can have your own family with 20, 23, 24.
Yeah.
And they force you. They don't give you money for that. They say, stay at home with your parents, and we don't have to give you so much social money.
Yeah.
And stay at home
Yeah.
if you can't find a job.
The current social welfare system, they are punished. They punish people who what they didn't do, because there's automation, and then there's structure and employment. But the social welfare system, they punish people who couldn't get a job.
Yes.
And then they still stick a focus on, we are giving more training, job training. Okay, what kind of job you can training people anyhow? If your social welfare system still focus on job training, because people get no job because they don't have a training for jobs. Okay, what kind of jobs you're gonna provide them? Architecture, gardening, cooking. Probably it's the kind of job they can offer.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is about work, they always talk about, you need a job. But listen, we all have a job already. I'm cooking at home, I'm washing at home. I can do that for somebody else and I get paid. But it's the same job. I mean, you do work. But if you do it for yourself, you get not paid.
Yeah.
If you do it for somebody else, you get paid.
Ridiculous, right? Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
Yes.
Because it's work, what you do.
You do yourself, you don't get paid. But you hire somebody else, that's their job, they get paid. Okay, so it's the kind of staying home wife, and then staying home taking care of long-term care for elders. In Taiwan, we hire people from South of Asia. Hire a lot of people to go taking care of our elders. Really, there's something I believe.
They get paid worse.
Yeah, sure, because they from the.
But isn't it that slavery all over the world? Yeah. Americans or Germans go to China, and China take other ones. Dubai takes Pakistanis and Bangladesh people. We always use people.
Yeah.
It has to stop.
Yeah, that's kind of this conscious people. You don't think we all equal, right? So you always have some, you think it's different class, right? So that's pretty much when I promote universal basic income in Asia. People will think, those people who are not deserve, we don't deserve. I said, really? What do you mean? What you decide who deserve, who doesn't deserve? Really? This kind of ideology we need to abolish. You know,
And
we are
how
equal.
big is the movement right now in Taiwan? You said you started it. So how many people work on this in different cities, or is it just in Taipei, or how is it?
The last year when I returned, I was doing this on my own. I translated a film, something like that. Okay, this is what can I do? This is what I can do to one person without funding, resource, anything. And then until I do have friends come, support me, and then right now I'm co-founding with one of American. My co-founder partners,
But do you see how nice it is, how rapid we get connected all over the world about this?
Same idea.
Yeah.
And then so I start with that. I'm going to on process exception a new NGO. The co-founder is one is Anno Smith and one is Tyler. Tyler is American and then he's from States. And he's a grad student and got a scholarship in Taiwan study. So he worked with me. So and then also Anno Smith. And then so I'm American citizen myself, but we all from somewhere. And then we found Taiwan is a place we can start push through.
But who is helping you financially now to do this?
I was lucky enough when I was doing a lot of things on my own. I post a lot of translation on Facebook, and there was one lady. She have a compassion towards the mankind and Taiwan people, and then she think, you know what? I appreciate what you've done. I've been doing this without money, and I have no car, no vehicle, so I have no place, Anyway, so I was living. I'm capable to live out with nothing because I was on the States. When I live in state, I was living in a car, so I can live very minimum. I can survive.
Minimal.
So I hang there so long until there's one lady. She said, "You know what? I really appreciate that. So give me your bank account." She started.
And she's supporting you doing that. Great. We need much more people who do that. And this is what I always say in the last in the last month. I have the hope that more and more people who are rich, maybe very rich or super rich, understand that there is a big need to make a change. And I always ask people to wake up and help. Because you can help with money right now. As long as we're still in a money financial system, we need that. So I always ask people, if we do these shows, to think about it. What are you doing with your money? Because money in your pocket is a power.
Yeah.
You can give the power to big companies. You can give the power to Ping in Taiwan so that she can support everybody with the and bring the idea into the society about the unconditional income, because it would be the first step of freedom in your mind.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I was lucky to have a volunteer during the summer, and there's something supposed the government should do this, But I have like 30 volunteers from states, from the whole island, Taiwan Island, university students. We have a summer. We divided 3 groups, okay, and then so one focus on the taxation system, try to fix that. So anything we can get more reasonable tax, and then also our social welfare system, how to merge, and then what poverty study. So we are come up with this national proposal. How can we afford it in Taiwan? So that's kind of breakthrough to the whole. Right now, it's a whole global movement. A lot of trials going on in different nations, but trial is small, like one city or conditional. And because most people will be asked, how can we afford it? Most people think about the gross cost, but we figure out a number, the net cost. So we are going to make make a national proposal in October. So with how we can implement in Taiwan, because Taiwan is a small island, so we can try, if something it could work in Taiwan, I think we can apply the worldwide. It's not hard.
The idea of a global basic income is something that I really like the idea about it. That you as a human being are free to step over every border and be not afraid of dying of hunger.
Yeah.
This would be the real sense of life. That you can move around this planet as a human being and not be afraid that you're gonna die of hunger or of homelessness or whatever.
Yeah, and then we don't have to so busy set up all the rule regulation to stop people doing. There's something conditions unconditional. People are so good at playing the rules, a loophole. You set conditions, that's always a loophole, and that's what corruptions. So if say no rules, nothing you can play. So this is how I think it's a deeper, like a philosophy issue than money issue.
Yes.
So that's how stupid we are right now. A lot of social welfare system, they spend budget. Okay, this is people who would give out people who are in need. But we spend more money on taking care, keep an eye on those money and do not be abused. That's really smart. Okay, so there's a lot of money spending on preventing corruption and then cause more corruption. How about we just release all the conditions? No conditions. So don't even bother to watch, keep an eye on this. So I think it's brave. It's kind of a human being have to go beyond the fear. What are you so afraid about? What are you gonna do? It's not going anywhere. And then, there's something in Taiwan, I'm kind of fed up with all the media try to feed people, watch out, there's a scam going on. Constantly tell you this is scammer. But you know what? Advertisement, the same thing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
And now, because we're getting to the end, and I would really love to talk more with you, maybe next year if you're coming back again. That would be great. You are here now in Vienna. What are your plans now in Europe, and how long do you gonna stay?
I'm staying in Vienna until 16, and I'm headed to Paris. So I was then in Paris, and I'm headed to Lisbon. So, and then after Lisbon, I will go to Berlin and London, because I want to see, because culture. I want to experience different culture, because I want to know we are human beings, regardless of language. Are we speaking the same language or not? When we face poverty or basic necessity, a survival, same. There's no difference.
That's a good word for the end of this nice talk with you.
Thank you.
Ping, 谢谢.
谢谢.
Thank you very much that you came, and I hope we see us again.
We sure will.
So you see, people, it's a global thing. The unconditional basic income, it's up to us, all of us, that we can make a change. So make the connections to everybody you know, and we get stronger and stronger. Thank you very much, and see you next time.
Idealism prevails. Make the world a better place.